I think we can all agree that there's a lot of anxiety and there's a lot of mental health issues as a whole in the modern day. And the fact that time's gone by and we seem to be going backwards in a lot of areas. And it is not by coincidence that this is happening. This is the first time watching me. My name is Sam Hardy, and I'm a very young man that has completely changed my life through a healthy lifestyle, fitness, mental and spiritual transformations. And my mission is to help as many people as possible be able to actually thrive in this modern life that is very confusing and can be very detrimental. Making this video hits home for me because I used to struggle, very badly struggle with anxiety and anxious feelings, and it consuming me and me having no power over it, allowing it to have full control over me in my life and everything that I did. And I know a lot of people are in the same boat. And I'm going to just talk about my story of going from truly the most anxious person I've ever met to
Two.
somebody that is honestly one of the most peaceful, happy, fulfilled people I know. My camera setup is all right, not great. Currently, small channel things. I'm ordering a camera now, so soon these videos will be better. But if I sound a little off, just got some seasonal allergies. The fix to anxiety and these mental issues that we experience comes really down to two umbrellas: is inappropriate lifestyle and inappropriate mental constructs. And what I mean by inappropriate is just that it doesn't match with how we are designed to live, or it is detrimental to how we live, our health, our mental health. And it sounds too simple to be like that. I would have told you it's way too simple. You don't understand. It really is that simple. Those two things, they cover everything. And you can absolutely, completely turn around your life. So let me take you guys back to about second grade. In second grade, I didn't have any particular reason. I had a family member pass away, so that contributed a decent bit. But looking back, I don't really exactly know what caused this rampage of anxiety to go through me during this time period. But it happened to be in second grade, I was an absolute train wreck. I couldn't every single morning when I would go off to school and my mom would drop me off, I would be in full tears, just tears running down my face. I couldn't compose myself whatsoever. And it was extremely embarrassing walking into class crying and not being able to really help it. Because by second grade, that's usually past the stage of when you don't really cry anymore when your parents drop you off. That's more of like kindergarten and stuff. So it was really embarrassing to be crying in front of all my classmates, in front of my friends, in front of the girls I thought were cute, just in general. And the fact that I couldn't compose myself and why I didn't know why this anxiety was, it felt like this anxiety was attacking me. It felt personal. Now that I understand what anxiety is, and now that I have completely taken control over the feelings, I know that I had two main problems back then, and that was identification with my anxiety and distractions. If somebody were to ask me, tell me about yourself, one of the first things I would say, or at least one of the first things that would come to my mind, was that I'm very anxious. It was always on my mind, and it was a part of who I thought I was. I identified with anxiety. I am an anxious person. That's what I would think. That's what I would say. I have anxiety. That's what I would think, and that's what I would say. And every morning before school, I would watch Pokemon. I had on Netflix, like I would go on the TV and watch something to distract myself from knowing inevitably when I have to leave for school, it's going to be a really painful experience for me. And I'm going to feel very worried. And so I just try to drown it all out and try to distract my brain by watching Pokemon in the morning. And when I got back, I would watch YouTube and other shows, probably more Pokemon. I loved Pokemon back then. It was a great show. But I didn't understand that those two things were creating the monster. Fourth grade rolled around, and the same anxiety came back even stronger than before. The monster had grown, gotten bigger, and has come back for vengeance. In fourth grade, I definitely didn't want to cry in front of people. That was like, I'm way too old to do this. I can't do that. So I'd go to the bathroom very suddenly, and it was definitely making my classmates and my teachers curious, like, why do you all of a sudden need to go to the bathroom? And I would secretly get my phone and I would try to call my parents in the bathroom stall saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. I did not have it in me. I couldn't just stay in school and stay through the day of school. I did not have it in me. And that's what I would tell myself. And that's how it truly felt. And same thing, heavily identified with my anxiety. Went home, listened to music, watched more TV, more movies, anything to distract myself from what I was experiencing. I defended my anxiety. If people didn't understand, I would feel a certain way about it. It's like, you need to understand. How ignorant of you to not understand what I'm going through. How ignorant do you not understand to give this power to what I'm going through something. This force is extremely powerful. I demanded a sort of respect for it, all while never realizing that that was making the monster, that created the monster. Anxious feelings can always come up, they can always come and go. Everybody experiences some sort of anxious feelings. Anxiety is a self created monster. Anxious thoughts and anxious feelings occurring is completely natural, and it's part of being a human. But once again, anxious thoughts are completely normal. They come up, they're a part of being a human. You can't really avoid never having an anxious feeling arise. But anxiety is a self-created monster. It's a ghost. It's not real, but if you can make it real. You can create it. And although it has no true power over you, if you allow it, it can destroy you. Distractions, no outlets, not being able to face the feelings head on, just to be able to be with the feelings. I didn't understand that these things have no power over me. They have no power over you. They have no power over anybody. They are completely separate from you. All emotions exist, they're there, but they're not you. And that's the thing, that's the mental construct. Probably billions, a majority of the planet doesn't understand is that these feelings aren't us. They are there. We can feel them, we can observe them, but they have no power over us. And ignoring or running from them is creating the monster. Living a physically, mentally appropriate life, clearing all the clutter from your mind, all the stimulation, all the things that you allow into your brain, that you allow into your life, and just reframing the mental constructs that you have. That is freedom from anxiety, freedom from the worry, being able to completely change your life is that simple. But these things made me go from somebody that truly thought I was cursed, that the universe wanted me, it was my destiny to be an extremely anxious, worried person, to being an extremely calm, extremely happy, extremely fulfilled person. Number one is distractions. You must live your own life. You must live your real life. Stimulation, and you don't even need a lot of stimulation to really skew how you perceive your life. You see all these things, and it makes your life feel cluttered and like mixed and confused and chaotic. You allow all this like dopamine and all the stimulation to really skew with how you live and how you view your world. Think about how our brains are really supposed to be. Like, none of the stimulation is natural whatsoever, and our brains have not evolved. Our brains are still not meant to deal with the news, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all this stuff. So you have to severely limit it and cut out everything that is not beneficial. When you hide from, run from, ignore present emotions, if they're negative, you you turn these emotions that were just emotions, something that occurred, and you turn it into that monster. You turn the anxious thoughts, just an anxious feeling, into anxiety, this giant beast. When you run or ignore these things, you are believing, you're putting belief that these things are connected to you and somehow have power over you. So you must simplify your life. And the thing is that you will actually have a new lust for life. You'll start to feel like a child again. Like, your life will start to feel like what people call that like 2015, or life now will start to feel like the good old days, because back in when we were kids, almost certainly you didn't have access to this stimulation, this over information era. And you don't lose anything beneficial. You don't lose anything beneficial. You can learn things to actually improve your life. You just you start to live in your real life by simplifying. When you keep out these distractions, you'll develop the skill to be with yourself, to be by yourself, to feel your emotions raw without crutching it with something. And that's what completely transforms us. It automatically will start to lose its power. Won't be instant, won't be overnight, but over time you will start to be able to just be able to be with yourself, and it'll be a really enjoyable thing. You will be able to observe any emotions present and completely allow them to be there without fighting, because when you fight or give force against these emotions, they create a counterforce every single time. You will completely improve your mental health in every aspect, getting rid of all the overstimulation, all the crazy nonsense, all this crazy info that you're getting all the time. And you'll be able to discover a new way of living. Second thing is identification. Like I said before, anxiety is a self-created monster. Anxiety does not exist. It's not a entity, it's not a thing. Maybe you and maybe people that you identify and defend what is hurting you. You think people need to understand what you're going through. You think you need people to understand your anxiety. It becomes a part of your identity. And the bigger issue to all of this is like the global pandemic of false identification, ego, not ego and like pride, but like your false mind, false sense of self. I'll come back to that later in this video, actually. So what you need to do is let go of a false identity. What you think of yourself, these thoughts and these images, they're not you. They're just thoughts and images and feelings. It's not your identity. That's not you. It's a fake. It is an identity, but it's a fake identity. It's not actually who you are. There will be resistance into letting go, even though it's completely fake. But you get attached to these things when you become identified. When you have that attachment to these fake things, and I've absolutely done this recently. About last summer, I came across a book, because it's about the last, honestly, most crucial part of it, but I came across being present, and I started to change my life, and I actually felt a lot of resistance of letting go of this fake thing, of this fake identity of who I thought myself of being, realizing it's not important. Your identification, although it feels precious, holds nothing real or beneficial to you. It's extremely normal. Again, billions of people, probably 95 to 99% of people, have false identity. But it's really insanity if you really think about it. It's normal insanity, but it is insanity being attached to thoughts and feelings of yourself which aren't actually you. So you transcend it. Presence will become your identity. Again, keep watching till the end. I'm going to get more into that. When you can let go of this fake identification, although it feels like, no, but these thoughts of how I view myself and all this stuff, and it really does feel important to you, and it really, you'll have resistance, but you will actually free yourself. You realize you're not in the confinement that you think of as yourself. You're not defined by anything. And don't fight the resistance. Don't fight the anxiety in the first place. It's all about allowing it to just be, being very comfortable, being able to just sit there with that, observe it, realizing it's not you. You can just see it and feel it. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. And I know that doctors will say anxiety, depression, these things are real. And they're correct in the sense that anxious thoughts, depressed feelings, anxious feelings, they are real. But I simply do not believe that there is a monster that can just take over you, take over your life. I simply don't believe that, and I don't think anybody should believe that, because you can absolutely prevent anything from taking over your life. Number three, beneficial habits and outlets. Taking it too easy and not giving an outlet for your body, for your mind, is inappropriate, and it doesn't match with nature. It doesn't match with how we're supposed to be. We're naturally supposed to have no shoes on, grounding the entire time, walking, hiking, lifting up rocks, being very active, being outside, all these things that are more appropriate for us. But a lot of times now we take it too easy, especially when we don't feel good. So when you take it too easy, it creates bad feelings, and then you take it too easy more, and it's a cycle that just gets worse and worse and worse. So avoid drinking, smoking, overstimulation, like we talked about, any of these crutches. And again, not fighting it, allowing it to be difficult, allowing the resistance to be there, completely allowing that to be there. Physical outlets, physical activities, physical beneficial things are going to be one of the biggest transformers, setting up your brain and your body to understand what this truly is, to create the most peaceful, happy version of yourself. Exercise, movement, lifting weights literally makes your nervous system, calms your nervous system. We are meant to have some resistance, some challenging things physically in our life. It benefits us physically, obviously, but also mentally. Your nervous system becomes calmer. You become calmer. If you don't give yourself physical outlets, it builds up, and that affects you physically and mentally. For me, exercise and physical activity just as a whole transformed my health, my mental health, gave me a purpose, showing up to the gym, just being the best version of myself consistently, a never-ending journey to be on. Getting outside, getting sunlight, living the natural life. It's in our DNA. It's literally what we're supposed to be doing. It will benefit you significantly, mentally and physically. Get your bare feet on the ground. Meditate. Slow down your brain. A lot of times before you meditate, you don't want to meditate. That's just because you don't want to slow your brain down. Feels like annoying. It feels like a burden. Super beneficial for your mind. You can just sit down and focus on one thing. The feelings in your body, your breath. Very simple. Don't overthink it. Help yourself slow down and once again get real close with being present in yourself and being able to feel whatever's there and eat real food. All the dyes, preservatives, all this processed food, all this modern garbage that people claim is healthy, like these bars, and these chips, and these drinks. All this stuff has ingredients that literally mess with your brain, mess with your body, mess with your functions. Optimize your body, and you'll optimize your mind. Second to last thing, and very quick, patience. Simply just trust. Know that things will get better just with time. And especially if you live a beneficial life, it's completely inevitable that over time, once you live this life, you will just be able to be with yourself. And it's a completely amazing experience. Your brain will just become better over time when you live more appropriately, when you put in the work, when you love it, when you just live a better life. Don't be frustrated or put off by any feelings that may occur during this process. Just allow that to be and trust the patience, trust the process. Things will occur, but they'll no longer be a problem anymore. The final thing, one of the most crucial things to change your life overall as a whole, is presence. Becoming aware of the now. The only thing that will ever be. Your pain, your thoughts, all this stuff is not the now. The now is literally the now. That's all there ever is. That's the only real thing. The future doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist. You literally can't do anything that's not right now. The now is life. The now is literally everything that has ever happened and that ever will happen is right now. The mental insanity pandemic of not being present, not understanding the now. That's all there is. The most simple thing, really. None of your problems, none of the pain can survive in the now when you really are in it. When you have to put yourself in it. It's always there, but you have to put yourself in it. And none of that can survive because it's not real. And your identification is just your presence. Your soul is just your awareness. You're the observer of everything. That's really who you are. You're not your body. You're definitely not your thoughts. You're not your brain. You are the observing presence. That is your soul. So anything that occurs, you're just observing it. It's not you. All the pain, all this, all of that. It's not you. You're the observer. You are the present soul. That is who you are. Don't try to fake an identity. Don't think about you being these thoughts or these actions or your mission. All that is good. All that's important. But understand who you truly are. It's that simple. You are your soul. You are your presence. You are the observing presence. Read The Power of Now. That's really where I learned all this stuff about the presence. That book single-handedly changed my life forever. Very simple concept, very rarely practiced, and it's the truth, and it's that simple, but we don't think about it. Doesn't seem to come to us naturally. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. It's a simple video because the solution is simple. Don't overthink. Work out, exercise, eat good food, get outside, simplify your life, live the real world, stop watching all this garbage, and understand who you really are and what life really is. That's how I went from being the most anxious person I know to being one of the most calm, peaceful, collected, happy individuals I know. Have an absolutely blessed day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.